Welcome everybody back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin.
And 15 PCA.
And we're going to be covering the newest episode of the Orville, Pria. Sorry for the late upload. A lot of things have been going on over the weekend, but we're finally getting to it and jumping right into the episode. Just overall impressions. It was a good episode. Yeah, I liked it. Much better than the last episode.
It's a sci-fi, pure sci-fi episode.
And Jonathan Frakes did direct this episode.
Yes.
And you can totally see the Trek influences, the sci-fi influences.
It's really good, yep.
So at the beginning of the episode, they always seem to have a humor set up in the beginning. It's like the first 2 minutes is always something humorous. So they're watching Seinfeld on like the view screen right there in the bridge. And the point is they're trying to explain humor to Isaac because he's a robot and doesn't understand why do humans find things funny. And so and the whole setup in the Seinfeld episode they're watching is they're like watching a medical procedure and he's like eating food like it's like like he's watching a movie. Yeah. He drops some of the food like into the operating room and then they all start laughing and then Isaac's like, well, that's a delicate operation during that time. This guy could die. Why are you laughing like you're laughing at someone's misery? Yeah. That makes you a sadist. Like you're
that's terrible. And you see Burns' expression. He's looking at this like, what is it?
Yeah, Burns is like, I'm trying to do my work here and you guys are idiots. But I guess if you had a long time to travel, I guess you would kind of want to waste time. So I'm kind of seeing with Malloy and Isaac, how maybe they'll become like best friends in a weird kind of way, kind of like Geordi and Data.
Well, he could be CC, like Malloy could be the funny guy and he could be the straight guy, Isaac. It'll be that kind of playing off each other.
Because throughout this episode, you see that they kind of grow and appreciate. He kind of goes to appreciate a little bit of that friendship. I thought that was a good touch. But they end up getting a distress call from like a mining ship that's like falling into like a sun. And then she's like, well, they're going to die if we don't go rescue her. They fly down there. Very sci-fi. They go, we only get so much time to save her. See, that time crunch makes it more exciting.
Yes, exactly.
So they only have so much time to do it. And the thing is, and it's Charlize Theron, and Malloy's like, well, because she's so beautiful, we have to save her.
Well, it has nothing to do with save her anyways. It has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, she was ugly. No,
forget her. We're going to move on. No, it doesn't work like that.
And then it's like, oh, how much time is this? Well, you can go do it. He's like, I'll stay here. You can go do it. And it's not one of those things like, would you really send the captain down to do this? But that's every sci-fi show. So they get down there, they save her, last second stuff, they get her off the use a tractor beam and pull her in.
And there's also another really funny joke, because he's saying, oh, I'm going to do it. And he's like, why do you sound all nervous about it? And he sounds okay nervous about it. Oh, that doesn't make it better, you idiot.
Because even more like, damn, I'm going to have to fly on this, because the rock is rotating and there's a gravitational pull from the star and everything, so it's a difficult process. Yeah. But they get on there, they save her just in the nick of time. And again, I think it's going to be a running theme. He's always going to say jar of pickles every time a door can't get open.
Oh, he has to open it, which, hey, I love it.
It's
cute. It's cute.
It's cute, but it's almost like, okay, here it comes. He's going to say it again.
But that's what makes it funny, though. I love it. I'm sorry. I like call me corny. I like it.
Yeah, she just tears the doors open and they get her out of there. And you start the whole classic sci-fi trope of the first officer doesn't trust the person they saved or just picked up or something like that because she seems a little too perfect, a little too, like she knows too much. And then is it because she honestly doesn't trust her or is it because, the captain's like getting sweet on her and she used to be, they used to be married?
And quote unquote, they kind of later on in the episode says googly eyes. Yeah. He's giving googly eyes to her. That was funny.
So they're there and the captain's like, oh, I'm having like a little thing in my quarters, for the senior officers, you can show up. And it's like a little, kind of like a mini soiree or whatever. And of course, her and the captain kind of hit it off, and Kelly's like, she's kind of got that
that little puffy attitude. It's funny,
and then you can kind of see the seeds of doubt a little bit. Like they end up running into a black matter field, like energy. They look like giant bubbles. And even Malloy's like, I can't fly out of here. Like he's like one of the best helmsmen in the whole freaking.
And the way he said it, quoted, that's about my cave grade.
Yeah, he's almost like I can't figure this out. Then she's like, oh, let me help, and I'll do this. And then Kelly's like, oh no, don't let her take control of the ship. But at that point, it's like, does it matter? Let's get destroyed and killed, or let this person take control of the ship. Well, if we're gonna die, we're gonna die.
Yep.
So she ends up navigating him out of there, and that kind of like wins their trust. And that's classic because as a viewer, we can get like, oh, is this a setup or something? But we're thinking, how could she have set this up?
Yeah, but also it's a funny thing. The only thing got destroyed was the communications array. So right there, you're automatically assuming. So they can't contact anybody.
Yeah, it's like,
you start to get a little,
And during this whole episode, we would stop and think, oh, what's the game? what I thought was like, oh, she's gonna try to steal their ship because she's gonna sell it to some like junkers or thing. But like, how could she come up with all this stuff to make all this stuff happen?
And I think she even mentioned they're gonna go to a mining colony that she was formed. So she's kind of like, oh, is they gonna take it from them? And she's they're gonna help them steal it?
Like maybe she had some type of debt she had to pay.
Yeah.
And then, like, they're, like, looking up her name, and then it's not in the manifest and stuff, and then everyone comes to the same conclusion. They're like, well, they keep crappy records.
Yeah.
And then it's pissing Kelly off because that's what everyone keeps saying. She's like, no, it has to be something more. There has to be something more.
Oh, also in this episode, they go, that lady's nerd, whatever, goes down to the bottom part of the ship in the engineering room, and you find out that Block Hibbett works in the engineering room. He goes, you look good for a light lady, so apparently he doesn't like
And it's one of so I guess we kind of know his job. He works in engineering and he does something down there.
Now we know he does something now. Now we know his function on the ship.
I know they gave us some how the technology works. I guess what did they say, 10 light years an hour?
Yeah, it said it was 10 light years an hour, which is way faster than ships. Yeah, because I know in Enterprise, if they go in the fastest, they can get maybe a light year an hour, maybe.
So we don't know how long they can sustain that 10 light years.
But at least now we have a
kind of a baseline of like how far they can travel and how fast they can travel. Exactly. So they get, of course, they drop some, like techno babble about like, oh, what kind of engine drives they have and everything. And the Orville is not even their biggest type of ship. No. So I'm assuming the other ships are even faster.
It's not a battle cruiser. It's just a regular exploratory ship.
Because we haven't even seen any other Union ships.
No,
except for maybe a little bit in that dock, but we actually haven't seen too many.
I mean, it's like one of those you have to take a still frame. Okay, well, and then you can look at what's the ship and all that. But in terms of like actually them explaining it, no, they haven't.
And then you have, I think Kelly's very like, oh, why are you showing her the engines and everything? And the captain's like, what? Why are you so against this lady or whatever? Like, oh, is it because she's so beautiful? And then you get that whole concept of, oh, you're just jealous and everything.
Well, then, she gets, matter of fact, Kelly's suspicious she gets Catan to go in her room without any real reason. So they go in the room and they kind of find the part. She goes, housekeeping.
So they go in there and they start, looking for things, and they find like this little like
brick thing.
Yeah, it's like probably the size like of a fat pack of gum, but it's just a solid.
I thought it was a little bit bigger than that. I thought like that, but I'm not too sure. I thought it was like about as big as half the size of a normal brick, like you see in a house, but.
I don't know, it wasn't that big because it fit between those two little bars, remember?
Oh, maybe.
So they find this thing, they try to scan it and they can't scan it.
No, they can't even get close up.
And then, Pria comes back to her room and she's like, what the heck are you guys doing in here? And they're like, oh, there was like a radiation leak and we're trying to find out if like it's BS, it's pure BS.
Yeah.
Then, of course, Mercer finds out and he's like, well guys, this is wrong. We don't do that. We don't go snooping around. And then, that was like a real captain's like, I'm going to put this in your performance review.
Well, he put it in actually Catan, and Catan took all the blame, even though it was Kelly's idea. Yeah. But you could tell Catan was still pissed, like, I did this and I get.
Now it's in my file now that I did something. And he's like, well, then, you kind of, the captain and Pria start hitting it off, and he takes it to this, I guess they have like an environmental simulator, so, like their holodeck. Yeah. And he's like, there's like this really like beautiful place with the waterfalls and everything, and they're like, "Oh, what world is this?" And I forget what world he says it is. Like, have you been there? He's like, "Well, no, the inhabitants there, they'll get you and they'll sacrifice your body to the squirrel god,
the raccoon god,
the raccoon god, and they'll chop off your arms."
What's a nice planet? Yeah, okay. I love how they say it afterwards.
They're like, the inhabitants, they're not so much, but the actual planet
really nice. Yeah.
And then of course Pria's like, getting sweet on him. And he's like, well, I want to take things slow, I just got out of a marriage. And then they're just in bed. The next scene, he's like, oh, we can just do that. And then I thought it was really funny and it was really real. Like, afterwards, they're having, like, like, the couples kind of pillow talk, and then he's horrible. Like, he just is awkward, he's saying weird, stupid things, and she's like, you're pretty bad at this. He's like, yeah, I know. And that was, like, a very human, real moment. I thought it was really funny, too.
And, of course, like, man, in typical Mercer fashion, he has to tell her about how he got divorced from Kelly. Yeah, and all that. He cheated on him and all that.
It's funny because he doesn't say specifically that him and Kelly were married, but we're assuming we don't get to see every conversation that happens. So they start finding out more and more things, and then as the episode moves on, they're going towards what they thought was
that mining colony.
The physical. My guys can help fix up your array and everything, and everything will be fine. So Captain Mercer and Pria are like, okay, he completely trusts her, like 100% trust her. And then Kelly, she's still totally not favoring this girl, even though she did a lot of good things to help them out. She's still kind of like, I don't know. Then, and down in engineering, they're like, hey, Captain, come down here. We found something in that little metal box that they found in her room is like on one of the basically like on one of the engine cores, on one of the computers. And they're like, yeah, we can't get this thing off. Like, no matter what we do. So they go and confront Pria about it. And then she's kind of, playing stupid.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, like, oh, what's that? What are you talking about? I don't know anything. And then she's like, then she just drops the bomb, like, oh, I'm a time traveler from the future. And even when we heard her say, like, is she just lying?
Oh, is this another con?
Is this she's playing the con to, like, buy time or something?
The long con, yeah.
And even when it comes back from the commercial, Captain Mercer's like, you expect me to buy that? That's so fake.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, no, I come from the future where we find out if a ship is going to be destroyed. Then if there's a collector who wants to buy that ship, I'll go back in time, take it, and then sell it.
Yeah, because what happened is she gets ships that are about to be destroyed, and they were going to die in that dark matter storm. Yeah, they were going to die in that. So she's hidden from that.
So if you think about it, nothing changes because all these people are supposed to be dead.
But now from this point forward, if they stay in that time, then things will change.
Then they're like, first of all, they're not believing her. Like, that sounds so fantastically fake or whatever. It's like, yeah, there's a wormhole and we figured out a way to manipulate it in my time. She didn't say what time she was from.
The 29th century.
And she's like, well, when we get there, they'll sell off your ship and then you guys can live your lives however you like. And they're like, no, we want to live.
See, it's funny about Crimson saying this when he just said that because he actually speculated, do they kill everybody? Maybe Mercer might live? If she likes Mercer, maybe she's just lying.
Didn't know exactly what was going to happen there. But then she just hits like a little button and takes over the ship.
That brick takes over everything. They can't even stop.
Yeah, they have no control over any of their movement or anything, and the ship starts going towards wherever that wormhole was.
And it's a cool looking wormhole, by the way.
Yeah, the graphics in this episode are pretty cool.
Yeah, because it has like a little circle in the middle, and it has this
it's like a gravity well, and things are falling in.
It's pretty cool.
So the ship's going towards this wormhole, and then they're like, she kind of just lets everyone just. Because her technology's so powerful, they can't stop her anyways. Yeah. So then Kelly and Mercer are like, well, if we're going to get sold off to this thing and like shouldn't it go by like temporal law, should we just kill ourselves because technically we're supposed to be dead?
Yeah.
And every second that we're alive, we're changing the future.
Yeah.
So this is a future where the Orville shouldn't have existed.
Yeah.
Just to think that they were all supposed to die, that's depressing. That would suck.
Yeah, especially since they've only been together for a few months?
Yeah, it's not very long. They would have all been dead. That sucks. But, they start going towards this wormhole and everything, and they're like, man, we got to find a way to stop this.
Yep.
So they try to blast off that little box.
Nothing.
Then the engineer guy, he's like, you know what? I have an idea. I got this old drill as like a gift.
From a graduation.
From like a graduation gift. So it's like a classic. It'd be like giving someone a fountain pen.
Yeah.
So it's like an old technology and it has like an old school diamond tip on it.
They probably won't be able to stop this. It's so old they won't even figure it out.
It's the whole concept of like, there was episodes in Trek where the Borg, they can stop phasers.
They can't stop bullets though.
Just regular bullets because it's such an old
technology.
thing.
They would never think of doing that.
So they dig into it and then they get Isaac down there since he's like their answer. It's like, oh, get in here and try to figure out how to stop this thing. He puts these little tendrils go in there, and he's like, oh, wow, this technology's so advanced, I don't know that. And then it just shocks him and throws him.
Yeah.
And then he basically dies.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, no, Isaac dies. No, I like Isaac.
Well, another thing we forgot to mention, and we got to set this premise up, too. In the very beginning of the episode,
the practical joke.
Yeah, puts Mr. Potato Head face all over his face.
Because Malloy tried to explain to Isaac what a practical joke was. So, like, he ended up, while he was, like, in his down power off mode, he put a bunch of Mr. Potato Head pieces on his face. Yeah. So he walks under the bridge like Mr. Potato Head.
He didn't even realize it. They go, how can you see through your eyes? I go, that's just for aesthetics. I don't need to see.
Yeah, he uses sensors to see everything. So everyone's laughing at him. He's like, oh, okay. And then he's like, oh, you have to get me back.
Yeah. And I was like, that's a bad idea, Malloy. I knew it was
as soon as he said it, I'm like, oh, that's good. Something horrible is going to happen because he doesn't understand what a joke is. And then he gets back and he shows him, Malloy's in his bed. He's waking up. Okay. Goes to stand up and he just falls over. Freaking Isaac chopped his leg off.
Amputated his leg
off. Yeah, while he was sleeping. And he's like, funny joke. He's like, no, it's not a funny joke.
And for the first time, he does the voice of Steve. When he starts yelling, you can see
sounds a little bit of Steve in his voice.
I love it. That was great.
And then he goes on the bridge, I'm going to kill you. And I guess in this world, they can regenerate limbs. And then in the Orville world, because instead of reattaching it, just regenerate it.
See, the reason why I brought this up, because we forgot to mention earlier, is because he's next to Malloy and he sees him. They're both on the vial bed.
Yeah, basically. Because then he's looking over at Isaac and he's like, you know what, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but when I was yelling at you, so you know what, that's actually the best practical joke in the whole world. The whole history of practical jokes, that was the greatest one, was amputating my leg when I was sleeping.
So he's getting his leg back.
So it was like they're really kind of regrowing his leg. Yeah. And so after that, they're like, okay, they're starting to try to like get control of the ship. Like, hey, Malloy, we need you on the bridge. He's like, my leg is all like wobbly.
It's not small. Yeah, it's not developed
yet. And he's like, I need everyone on the bridge. And then Malloy's like, okay, let me get up there.
Hand. You're like saying, you can use your arms, get out here.
Yeah, get on the helm. You got to control the ship.
Unlike other series, when they're little wimpies and they leave after, a battle because they're a little hurt.
And they're all going to die anyway, so what's the point of going to sick bay? Yeah. But anyways, they start getting closer to that wormhole, and then they're trying to figure out a way to stop it. And Pria teleports onto the bridge. So I guess they have like teleport technology.
Yeah, they don't have it yet. Yeah, she has it.
So that's like something kind of cool, little thing that they get that later on in the future. And she's trying to convince everyone, hey, we'll go to the future. We'll sell off your stupid ship. You're going to die anyways. You'll live your life in the future with all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah. And I'm still wondering if that was even the case. Would they have...
That's what I was saying. Would they have killed everyone? I'm not buying it.
Because we have no idea what this future's like. Would they have sold them off as slaves? Would they have killed them?
Well, it was cool. When they finally get there, they see this like tree ship, basically.
Yeah, it looked like a ship that was grown. Yeah. Which is pretty cool. Like, it had a very like organic wood kind of vine look to it.
I mean, I don't know if any of you guys watch anime, but like Tenchi has, like Jiraiyan's have ships like that.
Yeah, they have a race of people where they grow a tree, and that tree becomes like a ship. So it kind of I'll try to find some pictures and I'll throw them up there. It's very cool looking. So they're there to make the transaction, and she's like, oh, here's the ship and everything, and Mercer's at the console, and he gets a little message on his little personal data pad, and it's like, oh, do you want some junior mints?
Or something like that.
Yeah, it's that thing, and he's like, what the heck is that? And he's thinking, oh, Isaac has control of the ship.
Yeah, he went into the program.
So they're like, okay, boom, do it now. Then he gets control over the ship, and I thought it was actually a really cool thing. They're trying to run away from that other ship. They're going to shoot a tractor beam at him, but they remodulate their deflectors, and you can actually see the tractor beam like bounce off. Yeah, I thought that was a kind of a really cool touch.
Little nice thing that they didn't have to show, but we saw.
Yeah, you guys see that they could remodulate their shields in a way that where it can block.
And one thing that me and Crimson couldn't stand is that when Kelly ends up finding that lady, and there's Catan, get in the middle of that.
Yeah, like they were kind of let them go at it. It's like, okay, you have Bortus, you have Catan, very strong individuals. You're gonna just let your first officer have a little cat fight with this other girl. It's kind of like almost like, let them get their licks in. It's like, come on, jump in there.
I mean, Kelly'd be like, move there and grab her and put her up like this.
Because like Catan could literally pick them both up and just hold them in the air.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how strong she is.
I thought that was a little...
So you I think that's just because you wanted to see them fight. Yeah. It's like a hockey fight. Like you let them fight for a little bit, then you stop them. Yeah. So they end up stopping that whole situation, and they get back through the wormhole and...
Back to their time, yeah.
Yeah, back so they're back in normal timeline. But here's the thing. This is where things get goofy for me. They basically have her in the brig, and then they bring Pria to the Captain Mercer's room. And he's like, okay, we're going to destroy the wormhole because it's, I think that's probably the best option, because if they would have left it open, there'd have been someone trying to take advantage of it.
Somewhere they didn't even tell the Union, though.
Yeah, they didn't.
That's kind of weird. I mean, I know there could be, if I make a parallel with Next Generation, the episode where Picard went to that world with that Conian mirror thing that can go, you can instantly transport anywhere in the galaxy. And I'm thinking maybe he had discretion to destroy it, so maybe it's one of those where he has discretion in that matter. He doesn't have to tell them, but it's like...
So, are they not going to write a report on this? And not...
I know.
It's one of those things where it's like, there's a lot of implications here, because I guarantee you there'd be some, high up there union. Well, we can use this as a way to get technology.
Because we don't know if they have the same morals as the Federation.
Yeah, we don't know situation. What's going on there. So he decides to destroy it, which I personally think that's probably the best option, because you can't leave something like that open. But here's the thing. He explains that once they destroyed the portal, Pria I thought she was going to be stuck in the past with them. Yeah. That's what I assumed. But, she fades away from existence.
See, I can't. I don't understand that. Yeah.
Maybe you guys out there can explain exactly what happened, but wouldn't all of her technology disappear, too? Because he
puts it in the desk.
Yeah.
So you don't see it disappear. So is that implying he still has that transporter?
Because they had that time accelerating device from the first episode. Yeah. They have this transporter thingy. So they're starting to collect these pieces of
powerful
technology. So I'm wondering if any of this is going to play out again. Because if they wanted to show it disappear, why did he put it in his desk? Because if she disappears, wouldn't her technology disappear?
I know. That's what I'm wondering, too.
So, I don't know exactly, because in my mind, did she have some type of temporal tether that if something happened between it would bring her back?
I think someone tried. I was reading it up, and someone was trying to explain it, but it still doesn't make sense to me.
Time travel is always odd.
Yeah, because there's different aspects. Like, even in Star Trek, different ones. Like in Next Generation, when the episode with the when the Enterprise C went back into this wormhole, and they were supposed to protect that base from the Klingons against the Romulans, and it didn't. Things change instantaneously. But like on Enterprise, it was like a roving change with the Xindi attack.
Yeah, is there a rubber band effect? Is there like an epicenter, and then and time changes and it blooms out?
Yeah.
So like it's one of those things where it's like, whoa, what's going on? Pause, because even during the episode, we're like, wow, they got like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how's this going to end? I actually thought this would be the first two-parter.
Yeah, I honestly really did think it was going to be a two-parter. Wouldn't it have been kind of cool if they would have got stuck on the other side
That's what I was thinking.
For a little while, then they get the ship back and escape back?
Here's the thing, though. This show, I love this episode, but this is one of the few times I wish it was a later episode, because to me, it's like, I want to know about their world. Now you're taking me to the future. It's like, I know that's cool too, but I don't even know about your world yet, you know? It's like,
so there was
jumping into this.
Again, if the problem is I want more, that's a good problem to have.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
So overall, I thought it was a really good sci-fi episode.
I was better than last week's.
Way better than last week's for a classic sci-fi story because again, this kind of story. I kind of like Priya's, like, her business of going back and taking shit, because she even makes a mention of Amelia Earhart. Because she's supposed to die anyways, but don't let her die. Just grab her ship and take her to the future. And then someone out there will buy her plane.
That's a nice little thought that
maybe Amelia's still alive. So if there's ever been a crash, maybe those people somehow are still alive in the future for some reason.
But it's weird because the race that's taking them, I guess they look like the ones in the first episode. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, they're very they're very alien looking. They don't have like a basic humanoid form. And when they were talking, they were even speaking any type of like English? I don't even think it's...
No, it was
like a foreign...
I don't think their quote-unquote universal translators could even...
Yeah, but she was talking to them fine, unless she knew how to speak to them. So, in the end, did you think that she was honest when she said, oh, you'll be able to continue to live your life? I don't know. Maybe they would have been sold to, like, slave colonies or something.
Yeah, because then what if the alien race says, well, we don't want the ship. We can get the crew, too. Who cares? They're already dead. Everyone thinks they're gone. What would be the problem? To sell them as slaves.
And then, but what is the moral obligation of Captain Mercer to say, hey, we're supposed to die? But he makes the conclusion like, well, we didn't do anything, you did something. Yeah. And we can only react, and I'm going to protect my ship and my crew no matter what.
And yeah, exactly. And there's another thing. When she disappeared, does he forget everything that happened?
That's so weird.
And then they're still in the same spot where they destroyed the wormhole, but if this never happened, how did he destroy the wormhole?
It's one of those things where there's those weird thing, like once you have time traveled, you exist outside that time. Like
maybe she does, but they don't.
But they all went through the wormhole, so did they get that same kind of, that's kind of like a, I want to say sci-fi BS way of like explaining, like, wouldn't you instantly forget everything?
Yeah, like that. If you want to see any parallels of that, watch the X-Men episode with Bishop was like that, where he was out of time.
Yeah, so
that armband that kept him
he
out of time.
remembered everything that happened,
but no,
because when he went back to the future, like, what are you talking about? It's like, because everyone else wasn't affected.
So I'm trying to find parallels here that would explain it, but
time travel is a weird thing. So I didn't think they were going to bring time travel into this series. I really didn't think it was going to.
I thought it would be, but not so soon.
Yeah, so. This is so strange with the Orville. It's so familiar that I feel like, again, like this is season 3, episode 12.
Yeah.
Not season 1, episode, 5?
5, yeah. I think
that's crazy. The first 5 episodes, and we're getting these really good episodes that are like, that make you feel like we've been in this world for a long time, and we really haven't.
And I thought this episode, I think Kelly did a good job.
Way better.
Way better. Maybe, hopefully, the actress is growing into the role, and they'll start getting better like this.
Another thing I noticed, too, about Captain Mercer, he does not like being lied to.
No.
Man, you could see how, like, angry he was with Pria, because she kind of did lie to him, but then she's like, well, I did like you, I did care about you, and then in the future we could have had, like, a life together. And then he's like, is this all just lies? Because when it comes to Captain Mercer and being lied to, especially with like a partner, you can tell he really, really hates that. You can almost see the anger in his eyes of like, I had another woman freaking lying to me, and I hate that crap.
And the first one he gets in a relationship with is some
kind. So like it happened again. So if you think, and she even threw it back on him, oh, you're always going to be that lonely captain who can't get over his ex-wife or whatever. And it's almost like, oh.
You might be right. And another funny thing, too, and she goes, yeah, at least they didn't, cheat, on him, like some people, and then because like you told him, and go, oh, she's from the future, she's gonna do it. Oh, you're so full of crap. So she knew this information. Yeah, that's it.
It's such a specific thing. Like, why would you even care about
then
that?
Then the emergent cops up and goes, yeah, I told her.
But he didn't specifically say that. He said, oh, my ex-wife. He never said, oh yeah, by the way, it's my first officer too. So unless that conversation happened off camera, but it's just one of those.
Well, maybe she was just mentioning like a general thing, like, well, at least I didn't, like say it like that, but not towards Kelly. And then when Kelly heard it, she's like, really? And then at that point, she knew.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those things where I liked all the, because everyone kind of seems in the comments that people don't like Captain Mercer.
I like Captain Mercer.
That Separate Fine doesn't fit through. I think in this, he does.
In this world, in this type of sci-fi setting, he does.
He perfectly. Really does. Could he be a captain like on DS9 and Captain Mercer shows up? I don't know if he would fit in that mold of the Federation.
Probably not. I think if anything, Mercer would fit more like on Enterprise.
Yeah.
In the past than he would be like in the modern Star Trek.
So overall, an excellent episode.
Oh my goodness, it was great.
Charlize Theron did an amazing job through and through.
You believed her.
You believed her. The special effects were amazing again. All the characters. Again, the only complaint I think I really have with this episode is when you could do time travel, it's really hard to explain how the time travel works without making the episode 10 hours long.
Yeah, because the physics and all the different, parallel universes, you can make parallel timelines, all those different things. It can get really convoluted.
So, I heard that there's going to be a new episode next week, but I think the week after that, there's not going to be a new episode.
Okay, so we're going to...
Yeah, so I think you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I saw something on that. But, up and up, it's good. Another solid episode.
Oh my god! There's nothing, and then even the funny effect. Malloy's leg looked funny.
Yeah.
It looked all deformed. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, because it wasn't finished growing yet, so he has like these little crutches. And there you go. It's funny. Even he complained to the captain, "Hey, my leg isn't done." The captain tells him, "Get on the things." Like, okay, I got to do it.
Yeah, I got to do it. Yeah, I wasn't sitting there complaining and had to go on the bridge and go to the friggin', where the prisoners are at, like with Michael, and help us. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. It's so crazy to see where this is supposed to be, quote unquote, the more mixture of comedy and thing. They acted more like bridge officers than the show that's not supposed to have any of the comedy in it.
Yeah, he goes, I need my best people on this. That's what Mercer said.
And then Isaac, I guess he must have had a fail switch thing where because you thought he died, he must have downloaded himself into the computer systems like a millisecond before he got killed.
As soon as he knows, so this is pretty high tech, he probably figured I better do this.
He must have been like, I would imagine, like how a surge protector works.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes the incoming damage. Oh, cut it off.
And personally, I kind of think it'd be cool to keep Isaac as a computer. I think
he's always the computer. Like he doesn't have a physical body.
Yeah, but he wants his body back. Yeah. But that was funny. That'd have been funny if they did that.
And so, again, I enjoyed it. I mean, do you have any, besides the time travel stuff, I don't really have any complaints.
No. And one thing I will say, even though they show us another episode, I love when they go to their version of Red Alert, the Red Alert thing goes around the thing like a circle. It's not just a pulse, it goes around like a circle thing, like it's like a
police thing.
Yeah, I love that.
That's a cool look. It's a cool look.
I know we've seen it before, but
they also still have that technology, that little box. So so if her technology didn't disappear, they still have that little box. Because she even said, when we when we had to go through that dark matter storm thing, it was that box that was flying the ship.
Yeah, and it knew how to knock out its communication thing.
Yeah, and to do it just enough. So that thing's super advanced.
So here's the thing. Are all these going to mean something down the road? I'm hoping that all the technology gets used into one thing, like someone takes it.
If the technology doesn't just disappear.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't it? Is there a good
reason? But then why did he put it in the desk? That's the only thing.
So there's some complaints there. There's some story element type ways.
But again, I bet you Jonathan Frank's saying I can finally tell a real sci-fi story again.
Even in that last scene, Pria's like, so I guess you're going to give that technology to the Union. Whatever. He's like, no, I'm going to hold on to this, and he puts it in his drawer. And it's like, I don't know. That's super weird. Like, is it something? Because how do you even program something like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess Isaac can kind of go into it and try to figure it out.
But maybe now I bet you it's going to come up. If it comes up again, then we got transporters and get someone out of a situation or something.
But here's the thing, though. Isaac even said earlier in the episode, he's serving on the Orville for, to learn about humans and everything. He learned of all this new technology. Does he send it to his people? I don't want Isaac to betray. Like, I don't like things. I like the character.
I think what's going to happen, and this is what I would hope happens, he does it because he tells him to, but then he realized last minute, I can't do that to my crew, and he actually not feels for him, but he ends up getting an affinity for them.
Yeah, he has like an unexplainable bond that he's like, well, maybe I'm learning more to be more human than
they realize.
Because why wouldn't he send all that information straight to his homeworld?
Exactly.
Because imagine because they're like more non-aggressive Borg race.
Yeah.
So, but if they have that teleporter technology and he had that whatever was in that little box, then I'm pretty sure they're going to want to know about all that.
Yeah, they're not as friendly as Data, but they're
they're like a little in between.
Yeah.
So again, I really enjoyed it. I want to see more of the world. I want to know how this time travel stuff works more. How?
Oh, definitely.
They talked a little bit about their quantum drives and everything. So we're learning a little bit more about the science.
The tech people love that.
Yeah.
Now they can say, okay, now we know how fast it can go. Now they can get a base pair on what it does.
So
as far as the ship goes, how fast?
I'm going to try to say, because I think I can kind of gauge our commenters now after 5 episodes. You guys are probably really like this episode. I think most fans
can imagine.
Like this episode. Yeah. Even though we kind of had a disagreement on last episode where I felt like I was off, but the commenters really liked it. And so that's going to wrap up our review for this episode. I've been your host, Crimson Sin.
I'm M15 PCA.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, see you later. Bye.